Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday. I'm a few minutes early, but I figured we'd just go ahead and get started. How's everyone doing? Let me find the live chat so that I can see everybody. And I'm going to pull it up on my phone. Hold on. Did everybody have a good weekend? Preschool Granny, Payton, Forever a Song, Clancy. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going to talk about some true crime this morning, guys. We're going to be reading, hold on a minute. We're going to be reading a bunch of different true crime news articles because a lot has went on. This morning I came across this article about JonBenet Ramsey. Hold on just a minute. And it says, around the same time, right after JonBenet Ramsey was attacked, a girl that was in the same dance class as her was attacked in her bedroom. Mike, I'm glad you made it. Did you see that article I sent you? Anyways, he said the police never really investigated his daughter's case. So we're going to take a look at that this morning. I don't want to get anything wrong, so I'm just going to shut up. Hey, Clancy. And then I came across this other article where this man he was diagnosed with dementia like 2 years ago. Well, Thanksgiving Day, he killed his wife and dismembered her and disemboweled her. And I had to look up, see what the hell that meant. And I guess that means her insides was out. Anyways, his brother showed up for Thanksgiving dinner and went into the house and found the man. He was like laying on the bed or something, a couple of cuts on him. The woman was dismembered, disemboweled. He was taken to the hospital, but he was arrested. Hey, Hibiscus, my dear friend. How are you doing? Let's get going, guys. I've been up since about 4:30, y'all. 4:30. And I like to get up, make sure the house is good and warm before my son gets up, take a shower. And let me tell you what, him and my mom went behind my back and she went and picked him up from school after I got up that early. He's not feeling too good. He was sick last week. He's still sick. So he's at the doctor right now. Y'all say prayers for him. So this is the little girl. Okay, so they're not naming this victim's name. Said, did JonBenet Ramsey's killer strike again? Father of another girl speaks out about similarities of daughter's cases. They lived in the same area. And Mike, there's something in this article about cigarette butts. That I didn't know that they found cigarette butts outside the Ramsey home. And they found the same cigarette butts outside this little girl's home. Okay, it says 9 months after child beauty queen JonBenet Ramsey was found dead in the basement of her family's home, a girl who was in the same dance studio, not class, was raped by a masked home intruder. That's according to the girl's father, who was going public to allege that police botched investigations on both cases, neither of which has been solved. The dad, whose identity was not released, says that on September 14, 1997, a man clad in all black broke into his home in Boulder, Colorado. The intruder allegedly found the father's 12-year-old daughter, whom the son identified only as Amy, and then threatened and raped her. Amy told her parents that when she awoke, someone was standing over her bed and referred to her by her name. I know who you are, the intruder allegedly said, adding, I'll knock you out. Shut up. Hearing voices during the night, the girl's mother went into the room and interrupted the man, at which point he fled the rescue by jumping out a second-floor window. The terrifying assault occurred at a home less than 2 miles away from JonBenet Ramsey's house, and in both cases, Camel Blue cigarette butts were found outside the home. Camel Blue, so that would be like probably ultralights or something. Okay, there's the house. Okay. There are many similarities between the two cases that I think are very good chance it was the same person. The father told the son, the only difference is my daughter survived. Amy's father told the newspaper that he urged police to investigate potential links between the crimes, but his pleas were rebuffed. They were completely uninterested, the father told the son of local police. They didn't care at all about this. They would just lie, telling us they'd look into this or that, but they hadn't. A private detective hired by Amy's family found the link involving the cigarette butts and other potential connections between the cases. Some possible suspects identified in Amy's case had worked previously in JonBenet's house, according to the son. Despite those apparent links, Amy's father said police were of no use. They didn't care about my daughter's case. They didn't really even care about the Ramsey case either, the father said. Authorities recently said they would reinvestigate what happened to 6-year-old JonBenet, who was found dead on December 16, 1996. Well, you know what? That's good. They're going to reinvestigate, but they need to reinvestigate this little girl's case, which is a grown woman now. I mean, did they take DNA from this child when this happened to her? If not, I mean, if they did they put it into the data bank? If they didn't then, have they done it in recent years? Evidently not. Let's see what else it says. Oh, that's it. That's it. Now, I know a lot of people, and I'm on the same page as a lot of people, think it was someone in the family. I do. I mean, a big part of me thinks that it was her brother. I'm not going to lie. I mean, what's he going to do? Freaking sue me? I ain't got nothing he won't. He might get him a damn rooster. But I'm just saying, I think it was the brother. I think that he was eating some pineapple and milk. JonBenet reached into his bowl. He picked up a flashlight and conked her in the freaking head. And then that's when the cover-up started. Of course, I could be wrong. Now, Payton said something interesting in the chat earlier. Let me see if it's still there. Before I was live. This will sound crazy, but Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, is pictured at some of the Ramsey parties. I was shocked. What are the odds? No coincidence in my mind. Hey, they might all be freaking freaks. Who knows? I never did. You know, a lot of people think that Patsy snapped on JonBenet because she wet the bed. You know, she was a bedwetter. I don't think Patsy killed her daughter. Did she stage the crime scene? In my opinion, yes, she did. Yes, to cover for her little boy, who I might say, yeah, they are freaks, Payton. Acted really weird in the interviews with, what is it, child psychologist. I mean, he acted like he just did not care that his little sister had been brutally murdered. Most kids would have been upset. And I know he's a kid and stuff. He was a kid back then, but I don't know. He just acted really, really weird to me. This is the first time I've ever heard. Yes, first time I'd ever heard about a second girl. Now, what makes me think, well, is it a possibility that maybe someone in the family didn't do this? Yes, anything's possible. I think this is a pretty good coincidence here, that 2 girls in the same dance studio were assaulted, one murdered. The other one, probably, the one we just read about, Amy, would have been murdered if her mother hadn't have walked in on the assailant and he jumped out a window. Now, what I think is very interesting is those Camel, what did it say, Camel Blue or something? Those Camel cigarette butts was outside, they're saying outside of the Ramsey home, and outside of the little girl's home we just read about, little Amy. They're calling her Amy. I would love for this woman to break her silence and come out and give an interview. I know it'd be hard on her, but I'd like to hear from her. Mike, you didn't get on Discord yet? Okay, Mike has heard of this. I figured you might have heard. I agree. I do not believe Patsy killed her, but I do believe she was involved in the staging and 120% of the ransom. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. The ransom note was written in Patsy's handwriting. Now, she denied it. But you can tell, you don't got to be an expert to tell that's her handwriting. Now, what kind of intruder is going to come inside of a house and write a 2-page ransom note and practice writing it first? Because they could tell it had been, the note had been written twice. Somebody practiced writing the note, and then they wrote out the ransom note. Later, the brother did a big interview as an adult with the ABC. Yeah, he did it with Dr. Phil. And he acted like a plumb freaking weirdo. Now, I know that, he could be autistic or something. The reason he acts a little weird. I don't know if he does. I shouldn't say anything about him if he does have autism, but to me, he just acts weird. Really, he really does. He's got this like Duper's Delight smile. Of course, that could be because he's nervous or something. I don't know. I think he was really, really jealous of his sister because she got a lot of attention from the mom because the mom was taking her to all these beauty pageants, buying all these fancy dresses, paying to put her in those pageants. The fee is not cheap for those big glitz pageants. Sometimes the top prize is like $1,000 or more. It's crazy. They put so many gag orders out there on people. The woman who took the 911 call, neighbors, etc., if they had nothing to hide, why did they go to those measures? I know. And why did they call all the family over? Not all the family, but like their friends over, and a damn preacher and stuff. If someone had broke into my house and killed one of my children, my other child, I would have wanted at the damn police station, not at someone else's house. They sent him straight to the friend's house, I reckon. Unsolved Burke is likely socially awkward because of what he's been accused. Well, that could be true. Unsolved mystery, that could be true. I know, I feel bad about saying that about him. My apologies. But, he does act weird to me. He does. I don't know. It's just a complicated case, and I don't really know if it'll ever be solved, guys. Maybe if there was an intruder, maybe one day it'll be solved. If this guy ever gets into trouble, let's say he's never been in trouble, if he ever gets into trouble and has to give DNA or something and be put in that data bank, then maybe. But I really do feel like it was not an intruder. But then when I hear about things like this, I get confused, guys. I go back and forth. When I hear things like this about this other child that was in the same, dance studio and stuff, it makes me think, is it possible it really was an intruder? Then I go back to that damn ransom note. Patty wrote that damn ransom note. She had to have. She just had to have, because they had a handwriting analysis guy, and he was interviewing her and all this, and they had like a registration for a beauty pageant thing, a form you fill out, and Patsy acted like she didn't even remember filling that out, if it was her handwriting or not. But it absolutely was her handwriting. I don't know. That just acted really, really weird to me. And they didn't even, here's another thing, guys, that blows my mind. They didn't even sit down with the cops until like months later. Right? Wasn't it months later, Mike? And after they had already gave like an interview. That was strange to me. Very strange. What is wrong? My damn chat's froze up here. Hold on. We'll see what y'all are saying. Unsolved mystery made me feel bad about calling Bert weird. I'm just kidding, honey. You didn't make me feel bad. I automatically feel bad when I say things about people. I can't help it. April 1997, first official interview with police. Yeah, and the crime scene was totally, how you say that, botched or whatever you say, because everybody was in the house. The friends and that woman cop, she was like, yeah, y'all go search the house, start from the top and go to the bottom. But they didn't. They started at the bottom. And I believe a friend actually opened the door to where JonBenet's body was at, but he couldn't find the light switch. And he allegedly didn't see her laying there. And then John found her body. To me, it sounds like they needed to get their stories together, so they practiced for months. Yeah, I mean, like, a part of me can understand a little bit them being afraid to talk to the cops without a lawyer, because, I guess they felt like the cops were trying to pin it on them. But then, you know, the other part of me is like, your child was murdered. Wouldn't you want to cooperate as much as possible? It's just crazy. It's just a crazy case. But anyways, y'all, we'll see if anything happens with this. I'll be keeping an eye out for any more news updates about this. Mike and I are going to do a JonBenet Ramsey stream. We've done it for the last 2 years. We always do it in December, just whenever he's free. Just message me, Mike, when you want to do it. And we'll do it if you're still interested in doing it. That is. Where is my StreamYard at? Okay, my StreamYard wasn't even pulled up. Okay, so we're going to move on to some other true crime news. Y'all know how I roll. I'm just moved from one thing to the next because there's nothing more to discuss here. I just wanted to share that with y'all. That is weird, though. That is weird that they both went to the same dance studio. They just lived 2 miles from each other. The alleged cigarette butts outside both homes. I'd never heard about the cigarette butts, so. Okay. Now I wanted to share something with y'all about a New Mexico man. Hold on, let me write something down too. A New Mexico man, I told you I'd been diagnosed with dementia 2 years ago. Well, he killed his wife on Thanksgiving, dismembered and disemboweled her. I'm going to make myself a note because there's another case about these teachers that locked a special needs child into a closet and made them eat their own feces. I need to make sure to share that. Pieces of crap. I like to get my hands on people that do children like that. I'd be their worst nightmare. Okay. Let me get this. I mean, this is a family right here we're getting ready to discuss that's never, had the cops, as far as I know, called to their homes or anything. They've been married for years. It's just like he freaking snapped. You should look into Bud and Sandra Henderson. They each graphics. John Ramsey remaining 18K each in 1996 after embezzling. Oh, really? Really? One soft mystery. Bud and Sandra Henderson. Let me write that down. We're going to do a good JonBenet Ramsey stream, me and Mike. Now, Mike's an expert on this case. I'm a professional, hun. And get mixed up a lot, but Mike's good at this stuff. He's read all the documents that has been released, whatever was released. I think that might have been some grand jury stuff. Okay, New Mexico man allegedly murders, dismembers, and disembowels wife before Thanksgiving gathering. Wow. Hold on, guys. Let me let my doggy in. Let me open the bedroom door. Come on, baby. Sit down, ladybug. Okay. Now, they have arrested this man and charged him with murder. But he should be able, if he really has dementia, it looks like he should be able to plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Let's see what happened. Can you imagine showing up for a Thanksgiving dinner and walking in and finding this? A New Mexico man is accused of murdering, dismembering his wife, whose remains were discovered by guests arriving for a Thanksgiving Day meal. I hope I can say this man's name right. On Thursday, Darren Denio traveled to Albuquerque, home of his brother, Carlin Denio, who was hosting a Thanksgiving gathering with his wife, Connie. When there was no answer at the door, Darren called his sister, Tammy, who then contacted the police department. Officers did not respond initially. Darren then picked up Tammy and they returned to the house where they knocked on windows and doors before entering through the garage by breaking a door hinge. Inside, they found Carlin lying in bed while Connie's remains were nearby on the floor. The remains had been dismembered and disemboweled, according to court records. Goodness gracious. Carlin looked at Tammy, at which point she backed out of the residence and called police again. Police arrived at 1:30 p.m., located Connie's remains. Carlin was arrested for first-degree murder and treated at a hospital for lacerations to his neck and leg. Relatives had last heard from Connie around 5:30 p.m. the previous day in a group chat about plans to gather at her home for Thanksgiving around 1 p.m. Family members told investigators that Carlin was diagnosed with, frontotemporal dementia 2 years ago. One study of people diagnosed with that disease found that they are particularly prone to sociopathic behavior while retaining knowledge of their acts and of moral and conventional rules. I don't know how that would be possible. Sometimes people with dementia and Alzheimer's, they get violent and they get mean. They can't help it. Neighbor Rich Cordova told the Journal that Carlin and Connie were nice folks with 2 grown children and often walked together around the neighborhood. I'm stunned, Cordova told the newspaper. This is unbelievable. In a Facebook post honoring Connie, one family member described her as young, vibrant, fearless. The post included an image of Connie in a tree wearing a blue dress along with 2 small kids standing on branches. This is how I will remember my Aunt Connie, the post reads, not afraid to climb a tree in a dress. They must have removed that picture because it was right here. And it was an old picture of when she was young. It says Facebook unexpectedly closed the connection. So I'm just wondering what's going to happen with this if he's got that dementia. I mean, is he really responsible for his actions? According to the type that he has, the case studies, it says yes. They're aware. They're aware of their behavior. I'm all froze up here, guys. I'm trying to look at my chat. This daggone internet, guys. Let me know if y'all have this problem. We got Xfinity. And like that's where I've got my cell phone through and the cable bill, internet, all that is into one. Okay, everything's supposed to be unlimited Wi-Fi and stuff. We got an email that said 75% of our Wi-Fi or something had been used for the month. Like, what the crap? When it says unlimited, that's the way it should be. Unlimited, people. Anyways, prayers for that family. I'm going to keep following this and see what happens because I'm interested to know if he responsible for his actions or not. I mean, he does got dementia. And it didn't say anything about, him previously being violent with her. I believe it would have said if they'd had other encounters with the police. That's just my opinion. Okay. Let me see. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think he's responsible? I'm trying to find this other article. Oh, yeah, guys. I'm not going to be able to decorate the damn Christmas tree with y'all because Cleo has ruined my Christmas tree. Stinking little cat. She broke the damn branches on the bottom, y'all. That tree would last me another 5 years. It's unlimited. However, once you reach a certain tier of usage, they slow it down. Oh, okay. I'd say this gaming computer my son has here, it probably takes a lot of that data. Of course, I wouldn't say nothing to him and hurt his little feelings. Hold on. I had to exit out of Crime Online. Thanks, Mike, for explaining that because me and Mark, he hollered at me the other day and he's like, what does this mean? I thought everything was supposed to be unlimited. And also, when he added my phone to the bill, they were supposed to send a $200 Visa gift card. Yet to see that. Mark says they have to wait a few months just to make sure people's not going to sign up for that just for 1 month just to get the gift card. Oh, guys, did y'all know that the Watts home sold for $600,000, $60,000 less than what they was asking for? I don't know, but I do not want to be living in no home where someone was murdered. Would y'all? If they give me that house, I'd freaking sell it. I don't know. I probably wouldn't sleep in Chris and Shanann's bedroom that they had. I'd probably turn that into an office and get me a bedroom somewhere else. That's crazy. It's only took, 3 or 4 years for them to sell it. I seen an article about that right then. Okay, hold on. I want to show y'all these freaking weirdo teachers. You just can't even trust your kids to go to school. Hey, that teacher's got one more time to call my son, that math teacher, out in front of everybody. And she's going to wish she hadn't. And I don't mean I'm going to get violent or nothing, but she's going to lose her damn job, is what I mean. I don't like that. I've got a good, well-mannered kid, and she's not going to take out her just because she's got an unhappy home life on my son. It's just not going to happen. Okay, let me share this with y'all. Now, they locked a special needs kid in a closet and made it eat its own feces. I'm not sure if it's a boy or girl. Doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl. This is horrific, people. Horrific. Let me get some of these ads down. Let's take a puff of the vape. I hate getting off silent on my stream. Okay, there they are. Look at them bitches. This week, a Texas teacher and 2 assistants were arrested for allegedly keeping a 5-year-old special needs student in a locked room last year. Liberty ISD teacher Melody LaPointe or something, 47, teaching assistant Tara Tinney, 33, Augusta Costello, 27, reportedly deprived the boy of food to the point that he ate his own feces and drank his own urine. A Liberty ISD spokesperson told KTRK that Costello and Tinney were placed on administrative leave following the April 2021 incident, and they had resigned at the conclusion of the investigation. Resign my ass. They should have been fired. According to the New York Post, the 3 women did not help the boy after he fell in the isolation room and injured himself. Evil bitches. LaPointe, I guess that's how you say it, reportedly transferred to another school district following the incident. Wow, would y'all want this woman working at y'all's school around y'all's kids? Hell no. KTRK reported that she most recently worked for Bonnie P. Hopper Primary School in Goose Creek. LaPointe was arrested in connection to the case on November 16th. Even before her arrest, she was hired in another school district despite having an investigatory flag on her state teaching certificate. She should not have a state teaching certificate. She should be banned from working around any children for the rest of her life. Hey, Callie, I'd be in jail too. I would be in jail. Somebody would have to bond me out if they even give me a bond by the time I got done with her. Oh, gosh, if I come across somebody doing a kid like that, my kid or not any kid, I'm going to go off. I'm going to go balls to the wall, honey, on them. Oh, God. Makes me so mad, y'all. This is sick. Maybe it's LaPointe. Don't matter. She's a weirdo. She don't deserve her name pronounced correctly. Along with Tinney, Costello is charged with abandoning and endangering a child. Abandoning and endangering a child? How about abuse? This is abuse. Their bonds were set at $60,000 each. Somebody's getting a slap on the wrist. I mean, they should never be allowed to work around kids again. Why is other school districts hiring this woman? I wonder which one is the teacher. Is she the teacher? I mean, if you don't got the patience to work with kids, special needs kids, then pick another profession. You don't need to be a damn teacher. That's what I said about my son's math teacher. She is such a witch. She really is. She won't even help him with a problem. He can't understand how to do it. Now, my son says he don't know this for a fact. He's like, she's probably got a bad home life and takes it out on us at school. I said, she must. She must not like you boys for some reason. I'm not saying they're innocent or anything, but she does need to learn how to treat her students. You don't, get a student and keep them from going to the bathroom, and especially when they got irritable bowel syndrome. And then the next day tell the whole class, well, thanks to Timothy, you can't line up early before the bell rings. Trying to make other kids get mad at him. It's crazy. She's going to keep on. She's not going to have a job. That's what's going to happen. Okay. Prayers for that child. Lord have mercy. I'm wondering how all this was discovered. That's what I want to know. How did this come out that he ate his own feces and urine? He didn't know no better. He was so hungry, they locked him in that closet. And where he's got problems, he didn't know no better. He got so hungry and thirsty, he had to eat his own mess. Ain't that a shame? That is so pitiful, y'all. I mean, that really breaks my heart. I could cry. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's see what else is going on. I saw where a mom smothered her baby she was breastfeeding. Then I saw where a little 12-year-old boy killed himself on accident playing Russian roulette with some other friends. So sad. Okay, and the 2 minors that were playing Russian roulette with him, they have been charged. And then there was a woman in Florida found with a hatchet in her head. She's alive. She's clinging to life. I mean, just so much going on. Let's read about this frustrated mother. Frustrated mother smothers infant daughter and tries to smother while breastfeeding and tries to smother the girl's twin. Oh, and look at this. They look like just like a big old happy family. Probably got sick and poisoned. Yeah. Well, that's a good point, Mike. It's probably what happened. It's probably how they found out. Boy, I've been watching Deadly Women nonstop, y'all, even though I've seen it most of the episodes. But there's some sick women in the world. I know there's sick men, but there's a lot of sick women in the world, too. I watched about this one woman. She would keep having babies. And she would kill them. She'd have them at home. She'd hide her pregnancy. And she'd have them babies at home, and she'd smother them. As soon as she pushed them out, she'd smother them. And she'd just put them in boxes and hauled them around for years and years and years. Till one day, she had rented a storage thing. And she stored one of the baby's bodies in there. She didn't pay her storage bill. So, they auctioned off whatever was in that storage building. And this old man bought of a baby. Okay, let's see what this weirdo did. She probably has got postpartum psychosis if she did this. Look, they look like a perfectly happy family. How many kids? 3 kids. You just don't never know. And then I watched this one woman. She shouldn't even had her kid. Candace DeLong, the schizophrenia and stuff like that, they shouldn't raise kids. They should never be in charge of taking care of kids. Because I watched this one woman. It was a black lady. She actually put her baby in the oven alive. She had schizophrenia really bad. Okay, so a California woman trying to breastfeed her infant daughter allegedly smothered the young girl to death, prompting prosecutors to charge her with homicide. Authorities allege that on November the 4th, 29-year-old Selena Juarez was having difficulty getting her 8-month-old daughter, Milani, to latch on while attempting to breastfeed at the family's San Jose home. Well, babies can sense when you're aggravated and stuff, and the baby probably sensed that she didn't want to breastfeed it, and that's why it wasn't wanting to latch on. Selena allegedly pressed the girl to her breast for 10 minutes, not allowing her to come up for air, even as the baby struggled to breathe and kicked, according to court records obtained by the television station. When the girl stopped breathing, Selena put her on a bed, then picked up the girl's twin named Zari and attempted to smother that child too, the court records state. Well, why did she stop? After 20 minutes, Selena walked into another room, sought help from her mother, who attempted CPR on the infants before Selena's brother came home and dialed 911. First responders immediately attempted CPR on Milani, and then rushed her to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. Zari was transported to a hospital and survived. Thank God, but now she's lost her twin forever. Selena was also hospitalized for an undisclosed reason and was then arrested and charged following her release on November 16th. The woman's loved ones are raising money to help her defend the homicide charge. Are they serious? And say she is a doting mother who needs mental health services. A doting mother doesn't smother their child. Please, don't. I hate reading stuff like that. This is a mother who needs help, not to be vilified. Well, honey, she's going to be vilified because she smothered a helpless baby. And she tried to kill the other twin too. Although these circumstances are tragic, I know there is no malice behind them. No malice behind them. She smothered a baby. Okay, Artemio or something other. Selena's husband wrote on the GoFundMe page that his wife is also a victim in the tragedy. She might have had postpartum psychosis, but that doesn't matter. The facts are she killed her baby and tried to kill the other one. I'm sorry, I don't got no sympathy for that. I just don't. Hey, Broken Justice. And people, y'all don't come at me for that. I know a lot of people get postpartum and they can't help it. A lot of people get postpartum and they don't kill their kids. When I had Timothy, it was the happiest time in my life. I was never depressed. I guess everybody's different. And I've always struggled with mental health problems. But I didn't get postpartum or nothing. Those who know her know this is not in her character. She has devoted her entire life to children, and her life revolves around our children and our family, is what her husband wrote. There are two sides to every story. We need all the help we can get to give Selena the chance to say hers. Well, look, the chance to say hers. She's done said what she needs to say by smothering her infant daughter because it wouldn't latch onto her damn boob. I'm sorry, guys. I had postpartum in my first job and I didn't do anything. I knew I had it and got help. Yeah. Okay, let's see. During difficult times in my life, she's always provided much needed compassion. I would hope we can offer the same grace and compassion to Selena during her time of need. Well, she's not getting it from me. Selena has always uplifted and supported her friends throughout their highs and lows. Okay, if she's this doting mother, then why didn't she go into the other room and be like, Mom, the baby is frustrating me. Here, take her for a minute. Instead of smothering her to death and then trying to smother the other one for 20 damn minutes. Ridiculous. She's got more in postpartum, honey. Okay, uplifted. Okay. We must continue to love and support her just as she would if any of us were in need, Veronica wrote in the GoFundMe. The site has raised $4,000 as of Saturday morning. Well, I don't have any sympathy for it. I do have sympathy for women that do suffer from postpartum. But I don't have sympathy for, a baby killer. I just don't. I do not feel bad for her. It seems like to me she knew exactly what she was damn doing. She wanted that baby to shut up, so she smothered it to death. She held it against her breast as it was kicking for its life, and then picked up the other twin and tried to do it the same way. And now they want to cry, oh, she's a victim. No, the victims are the two little baby twins. That's just the way I feel about it. Y'all can totally disagree with me if you want. Just be respectful about it, okay? I'm not trying to be a meanie. I'm not a meanie, actually. I have a big heart. Most of my regular people know that. But I don't buy all this crap all the time. Oh, I got postpartum, so I killed all my freaking kids. I mean, does she have a history of mental illness? Like, what was that one woman that drowned her 5 kids in the Andrea Yates? Now, that woman really couldn't help what she done. That was one case where she could not help what she done. She had mental illness, bad, schizophrenia, different stuff. And they said it was not good for her to get pregnant. But her husband just wouldn't let her take birth control. He just kept getting her pregnant, didn't care, you know. And every time she got pregnant, she had to go off of her medicine and she went batshit crazy. The truth's the truth. I blame the husband more than I do Andrea, because she really was severely mentally ill. And she thought by killing her children that she was going to save their souls, because she had schizophrenia and she thought the devil was trying to take her kids' souls. It's a very, very sad case. That's the only person that I know of that's killed their kids that I have any sympathy for. And like I said, I blame her husband. What was his name? Rusty? Oh my gosh. Here's something about a Virginia man. I think his name was Rusty Yates. Let me look. I have to run. Have a good day, I'll chat with you on Discord. Okay, Mike, be safe, hon. I can't wait till we do our stream. Okay, we're going to have to read this about this Virginia man because I'm from Virginia. Hold on a minute. Broken Justice, you still in here? I was going to say a joke to you. If you're in here, let me know. I was going to tell you, I have started a recliner fund, and it is at 0%. I'm just kidding. I'm making fun of somebody else. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to aggravate Broken Justice. You'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, Virginia man drives cross country, kidnaps teen girl he catfished after murdering her family. Oh my gosh. See, you just don't never know who you're talking to. Me and Hibiscus was chatting yesterday about something, and I told her about the Lifetime movie about it, and then I looked it up. I can't remember everybody's names, but the name of the Lifetime movie is Tall Hot Blonde. I think it's Tall Hot Blonde or Tall White Blonde, something like that. Anyways, this married man who had been a Marine meets this young girl in an online poker game, and they start chatting. Well, he doesn't know that it's actually an older woman he's chatting with, and she is using her daughter's photo. They start communicating and even writing letters to each other. I think she even sent him some pictures through the mail. It was actually her daughter's picture. But anyways, they have a falling out. And she starts chatting it up with one of his coworkers. Okay, well, he gets really, really mad about this. I mean, he was obsessed with this girl, and he'd never even seen her real face. Like I said, he was being catfished. Anyways, he kills his friend and coworker over this. Then when they get him into the interrogation room, they knew exactly who it was. It didn't take them long to figure it out. They told him You have been catfished. Here's the picture of the real woman, and it was this older woman. Anyways, they ended up banning her from being on any social medias for the rest of her life. I guess she can get on the internet, but she can't be chatting with people and stuff like that because she caused that murder. I know the guy shouldn't have went out and done that, but if she hadn't been catfishing and all that, that never would have happened. Her husband ended up divorcing her. Her daughter no longer has anything to do with her. Broken Justice, I love you, CC. I love you too. You remember that crime? Yeah, I've got me a recliner fund. And after I get my recliner fund, Broken Justice, I'm going to get me a new car. I'm just kidding. Some people have no damn shame on here. They don't care. It's Christmas time. People might need their money for something else. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to click off that. Yeah, but that's a true story. You can get in bad trouble over the internet. Used to, you could do things like such as someone just standing there filming somebody else getting their butt whipped. And you wouldn't get in trouble for it. But this day and time, you will. You will. The laws is changing over, the internet and stuff. You can't just do what you want. You can't be doxing people, taking advantage of people. Let's see. Okay, Virginia man drives cross country, kidnaps girl. He catfished after murdering her family. Let's see where he's from in Virginia. Washington County? Oh my God, that is so close to me. 3 people found dead inside a burning California home on Friday were killed by a Virginia man who catfished a teen living in the home and kidnapped her after killing her family. The Riverside Police Department identified the suspect, who was killed hours later in a shootout with police, thank God, as 28-year-old Austin Lee Edwards, who formerly worked in law enforcement at the Virginia State Police and Washington County Sheriff's Office in Virginia. Oh my gosh, that is, y'all just don't know, it's like very close to me. Police did not reveal in what capacity he worked there. 2 women and a man were found dead with clear evidence they did not die in the fire after firefighters extinguished it. In a press release, Riverside Police identified the victims as 69-year-old Mark Wynick, his wife, 65-year-old Sherry, and their daughter, 38-year-old Brooke Wynick. Police were initially called to the neighborhood on a report of a girl who appeared distressed, getting into a vehicle with the man. Minutes later, calls came in regarding an apparent house fire a few doors down from the call about the girl. Wow. The investigators soon uncovered that the girl was the teenage daughter of Brooke Wynick and lived at the house where the bodies were found. San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies later spotted Edwards' car and pursued it. They lost sight of the vehicle at one point, but he crashed a few blocks from where the deputies had lost sight of him. When the deputies approached, Edwards opened fire, and the deputies returned fire. He was killed by gunfire from one of the deputies. The woman, said to have been found safe and taken to the hospital for treatment of injuries she suffered during the crash, was the teen girl, who has not been identified. The girl was later placed into the custody of the Riverside County Department of Public Social Services. Goodness gracious, they'll make a Lifetime movie out of this. Detectives said that Edwards met the girl online through the common form of online deception known as catfishing, where someone pretends to be a different person than they actually are. After getting the girl's personal information, he drove from Virginia to California and parked in the driveway a few doors down from where the girl lived and where he was later seen putting her into his car. He walked into the home and at some point killed the girl's grandparents and mother before heading back to his car with the teenager. Our hearts go out to the Wynick family and their loved ones during this time of tremendous grief, as this is a tragedy for all Riversiders, said the Riverside Police Chief Larry Gonzalez. This is yet another horrific reminder of the predators existing online who prey on our children. Amen to that. If you've already had a conversation with your kids on how to be safe online and on social media, have it again. If not, start it now to protect them. Oh, yes, I've had many conversations with my son about things like this because you just really don't never know who you're talking to on the internet. I guess this is the grandparents, and that's the mother. And I will tell you what, here are some signs that you're being catfished. They can't send you a picture. Well, sometimes they can, but or they won't just take a picture or a video chat with you. They'll say their camera's broken. I mean, sometimes they will send you a picture. It just won't be them. I'm talking about like saying, just like, send me a picture real quick of you holding up something. They can't do it. They'll say their camera's broke or something. That's a sign that you are being catfished. And a lot of these people, you'll meet some really nice people. And then when you do something, just one little thing that they don't like, they go batshit crazy on you, and just treat you horribly. I've had it happen to me. I know how people will turn on you on a freaking dime. A real friend wouldn't do that. They might tell you what, you've done or something. Oh, my phone's done. Hey, Cheryl. Donald, our children are brainwashed, must not understand the love of family that they used and hurt by evil. Yeah. Good morning. Love your picture of your cat on Christmas tree. Oh, thank you, Donald. Thank you. She has destroyed my tree, Donald. You were right. The tree is not going to make it till Christmas. I can't be mad at her because I knew she would probably destroy my tree. I'm going to get me a little tabletop tree. Maybe after Christmas for next year. Maybe a pink one or a purple. I was looking at some purple ones, but I don't know if I really, even though purple's my favorite color, I don't know if I was really feeling that purple. I think that little pink one would be better and just put a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff on it. But I digress. I can't believe, let me see how far Washington County is from me. I'm from Wise County. Washington County. I can't believe it's from Washington County, Virginia. How far from Wise? Let's see. Oh, it's only 1 hour, 3 minutes. 1 hour, 3 minutes. Oh, so that would be Washington County is, okay, where Abington, Virginia's at, which is close to Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia. So it's not that far from me. I thought it was a little bit closer than that, though. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. Anyhow, y'all talk to your kids. It's very important. I do my son, about the internet. Sometimes he laughs at me because I've just had this talk with him so many times. But, he knows how weird people can be. Okay, let's see what else is going on. What else did I see this morning? Oh, this reminds me of the Darlie Routier case. 2 young boys stabbed to death. Their mother is a person of interest. Hold on a minute, guys. Let me plug my phone in. It's getting ready to die. And then we'll read this, and then we'll just chit-chat a minute. Hold on. I got to go to a different plug-in. Okay. Somebody doesn't charge their phone at night. Okay, there's nothing to share, screen share here, so, okay, no pictures. 2 young children were found stabbed to death in New York family shelter Saturday night, and police say the boy's mother is a person of interest in their deaths. Officers first responded to a 911 call shortly before 7:30 p.m., found the mother in the 3rd floor apartment acting irrationally. The 24-year-old woman had been setting fires in the kitchen area. Police took her to a hospital for an evaluation, but they received another 911 call less than an hour later reporting two unresponsive children at the same location in the Bronx. I watch a cat that's from the Bronx on TikTok. Upon returning to the apartment, they found a 3-year-old boy and an 11-month-old boy, both with multiple stab wounds to the neck and torso. So sad. The boys were taken to the Columbia Presbyterian Hospital, where they were pronounced dead. Before the officers left, a family friend told them the mother's children were with their father. Neighbors who lived down the hall told WABC they heard the boys' parents arguing earlier in the evening. Then later, they heard the father calling out for help. He was screaming hysterically. He was screaming, "Help me." I opened my door, and I see him coming down the hall with the boys in his arms, said Shannon Holyfield. They were dead. They were dead. There was blood everywhere. The mother remains in custody at the hospital. She has not been arrested. The father is not in custody. Police have not released the names of any of those involved. It reminds me of Darlie Routier. Of course, she claims that she didn't murder her children, but I do believe that she did. Let me see if I can find my chat on here. I do believe she murdered her children because of the forensic evidence. And plus, stabbing someone is a very personal killing. You're up close. You can see in your victim's eyes. I mean, those kids were butchered. She was barely cut. They make a big deal out of the cut on her neck. But, I mean, it really wasn't that big of an injury compared to the children. Anywhere you get cut on your neck, you're going to be close to an artery or something. And there was proof that she stood at the kitchen sink and cut her freaking neck. She even cleaned that blood. How can a mother or father kill their own children? I don't know, Donald. It is beyond me. They would have to be pure evil or severely, severely mentally ill. A freaking maniac. I mean, just the thoughts of someone saying something mean to my child enrages me. I just don't know how people do this to their own kids. It's just beyond me. They got something wrong with them, something missing from their insides, especially a mom that kills her kids. They couldn't have a bond with their kids to do that. But like I said, the only mom that I can think of that was in the news for killing her kids that I had any sympathy for was Andrea Yates. And it's because she was so mentally ill. But it's still not an excuse for what she did, but I mean, she just didn't do it because she was evil. She was very schizophrenic, had postpartum psychosis. This was her husband's fault. The doctors told him she did not need to get pregnant and have kids after the first baby because, she couldn't take her medicine when she was pregnant. And every time she get pregnant, have a baby, it make her mental illness like 100 times worse. So that's the only one I've ever had any sympathy for. And she will be in a psychiatric ward for the rest of her life. Now, didn't she get found like not guilty by reason of insanity or guilty by reason of, I can't remember. But she did not go to prison for it. She went to a state psychiatric hospital. She needed to have help. What is up? So many people kill their children. People can say anything they want. Our socialism become just pathetic. We never had people killing their children when I was raising my children. No, things has got worse, Cheryl. I mean, some of the older cases, the reason that they made news like Diane Downs and stuff, because it's really basically unheard of for a mother to kill her kids. And then, when you got Diane Downs killing her kids, then it made headlines and stuff. But I don't know. Things has just got worse, in my opinion. And people just come up with all these excuses, like that mother that smothered her baby. And her family is saying that she's a victim. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't see her as a victim. I see the baby as a victim. I can't help it if she had postpartum and stuff. There's a lot of people that get that and they'll kill their babies. Now, she smothered that baby because it wouldn't latch onto her breast. And then she tried to smother the other twin, and it didn't work. Anyways, you're correct. She had a long history of mental. Yeah. I still don't excuse it, though, does it, Donald? I do feel some empathy for her. Sympathy, but, I mean, 5 kids. So she, according to Deadly Women the other day, I was watching an episode about her, and it said she killed them to save their souls from the devil. I'm researching her case now. If she gets a new trial, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to stream it if they will let us, and you can use it. If who gets a new trial? Broken Justice? Darlie Retier? Or who? I believe she's guilty of sin. I had a couple of her friends and supporters that talked to her on my channel years ago. And, they're pretty convincing, but I believe she killed her kids. I might get hate for it, but people reacted like they are right now about this woman. That's why people act the way they do. Now she's exiled. I said I may get some hate too, but she's not a victim. I can't help it about that postpartum stuff. That's no excuse. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She killed the first one. That baby was kicking and probably trying to scream, cry. And she killed it. And then she tried to smother the other one for like 20 minutes. Thank God they revived that baby. Thank God. Yeah, and her husband and her family starting a GoFundMe saying there's 2 sides to every story. Really? What is her? I mean, what's her side of the story? The facts are she killed her baby. Killed it and tried to kill the other one. And they're saying because it wouldn't latch on. A baby is not going to want to nurse if they can tell you're aggravated and stuff. That's probably why it wouldn't latch on to her to begin with. She got something bad wrong with her in her head. I believe people that kill their kids and they try to say this postpartum stuff, I believe they had it in them all along to do it, because I know a lot of people that's had postpartum bad and they didn't kill their kids. Actually, how my mom got custody of my niece years ago. My mom raised her from the time she was 13, put her through college and stuff. She's the RN nurse now, but my mom had to care for her because my niece's mom had postpartum depression, and she said a few crazy things about seeing a dead baby beside the road and stuff, and my mom's like, hey, I got to intervene here. But my mom always thought that she just said that because she didn't want to take care of Sadra. That's my niece's name, Sadra. She's beautiful, y'all. Things like after they have one, they would know they weren't cut out to be parents, but they just keep having them, and then they hurt the children. Yeah. I watched on Deadly Women, there was this one woman, her first baby, she drowned it because she had a little girl. She didn't want a little girl. She wanted a little boy. She drowned it and took it outside in a blanket and put it in the woods and called police and said an intruder come in and took her baby. Okay. They never could prove she done anything. They found the baby dead, but then she had another kid. I believe it was a boy. And then she got pregnant again and had a little girl, and she killed that little girl and tried to tell the same story. Every time she'd have a little girl, she'd kill him. That baby had no one to protect it. But you want people to feel sorry for the mother? I agree, Cece. I think she had the evil inside her before she did it. Yeah, it really pissed me off, Cheryl. It really, I know people's going to be saying postpartum. I get that. I get postpartum. That don't excuse it. She did not want them babies around. She did not want to take care of them. Now, I get having twins. That would be difficult. But crap, don't get pregnant then. Keep your legs crossed, as my granny would say. I don't feel a bit sorry for her. I am disgusted that they have started her a GoFundMe page. The facts are she smothered her baby and she attempted to kill the other one. She'll be charged with attempted murder too. Now, they said they put her in the hospital for something. It's probably because of mental health or something. She's not going to get out of this. This is so bizarre because my real mother did not want a girl. And she had twins. So that's why I was adopted. She didn't know she was pregnant with twins either. Oh, really? Are you a twin? I'll find out that woman's name. I'm going to have to start writing these names down when I watch Deadly Women. But she would kill. She thought girl babies were not any good. She hated little girls. It's because she was abused when she was little, they said. I believe people use that as an excuse because I was abused growing up. And I have a lot of sympathy, empathy, love for people. I can't even hardly kill a spider. I don't even kill stink bugs when they get in my house. I take them outside. So I just think people use that as an excuse. But anyways, I watched Diane Downs on Deadly Women the other day. I think it's like the second season. They did an episode on her. Because she is pure evil. She is a wackadoodle. I'm telling you, she is a freaking nut. Still a nut. My mother was one of the triplets. My grandmother didn't kill them because they were a lot of work. I know. Normal people don't do things like that, Cheryl T. They might moan and complain, Lord, you children are killing me, or something like that. But they would never harm their child. And look at these people that have 5 and 6 babies at a time. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine trying to take care of 5 or 6 babies at a time? But they do it. They do it. And they're good to them. But really, having that many babies at a time is not good because how could you have time to bond with them? If you got so many to take care of. I was 7 pounds when I was born. When my mom left me at the church, I was barely 4 pounds. They said she didn't feed me. She passed me around to anyone that wanted to keep me. Weird. That is weird, Broken Justice. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, it wasn't you. It's something sick inside of her. Excuse me saying that about your mother, but that's totally messed up. I'm sorry. You're a good person. You didn't turn out to be, evil. People use that crap as an excuse. Oh, I was abused growing up, so now I'm going to abuse other kids. That totally makes no sense. To me, that makes no sense. Because if you've suffered abuse, you want to protect other little children. That's the way it's made me. Those guys. Everybody's different, I guess. And anyhow, guys, I'm going to have to get off here in a minute. That's enough freaking true crime this morning. Tomorrow we'll have us a better stream. I'll be a little bit more prepared. I swear I just got so much to do in the mornings. I've been up since about 4:30. I've done let out farm animals and fed them and fed cats and fed dogs and let the dogs out and I got my kid off to school. I've done a bunch this morning. I still got more to do. I finally got me a regular vacuum cleaner. I was just using one of those shop vac things. But I've messed my shoulder up. I don't, yesterday I was getting a trash bag out of the thing. And it wouldn't break apart like on the perforated edge thing. And I yanked it real hard. And I squalled out. My shoulder, I've torn something. It's been messed up ever since that rescue dog was here. That big hound dog. And I was trying to walk it one day. And it jerked me real hard. And my shoulder's been messed up ever since. That woman's pure evil. Smirks all the time. I just want to knock that smirk off her face. I know it. I know. I tell you, somebody gets on my nerves. Does that Darlie Routier, which when she gives her freaking interviews, proclaiming her innocence with her Southern accent and her old soft voice, it's so freaking fake. She makes me sick. Why didn't they execute her yet? Somebody tell me she has been on death row in Texas for 100 freaking years. It seems like at least over 20. It happened in the 90s. What, late 90s, early 90s, something like that. I mean, she's been there forever. She's not going to get a new trial. Nothing's going to happen. They might as well just execute her and get it over with. I believe she would have killed baby Drake, too, if he hadn't been upstairs with Darren. It's my opinion. We'll have to do a Darlie Routier stream. I've done several. The only thing about it is it brings out the weirdos, guys. I mean, there's people, I mean, they get plumb freaking mad over it. I mean, to me, it's just a true crime case. You know, I don't usually get mad over things like that unless someone's victim bashing or something like that. Well, I had wonderful parents. The preacher at the church adopted me. Couldn't find out he was my real uncle by blood. We didn't know that till I was 6. I was blessed. I had the best parents. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad everything worked out like that. A lot of children, you know, they don't go to good homes. They go to abusive homes. So it's good to hear that you had a good life growing up. Now, not all adoptive parents and foster parents are mean, but there are some that are. And biological parents that are just plumb evil, y'all. But anyways, I guess I'm going to get off here and go back in the living room. Maybe put me a bra on. Get dressed. I still got my nightgown on, y'all. My hair's up in a damn clip. I look right pretty this morning. Not. Anyways, we'll have to do us a game night or a game morning. See, I like to do like a game night at night, but it's so cold outside and I don't really have any privacy in the evenings. So maybe one morning we'll do us some Christmas trivia, or no, we can have a game night because Timothy's going over to my mom's after he gets out of the doctor. He'll be over there for a few days. I forgot about that. So yeah, maybe one night this week, Tuesday, tomorrow night, or Wednesday night, we'll do us some Christmas trivia or something. Also, I saw at Walmart they have horror movie trivia. I know a lot of y'all watch horror movies like I do. I thought about buying that trivia game and playing. We can get Cement Shoes to come. He'll probably have all the answers, him and Mike. Oh my gosh, you were going to throw me back into the lines, then I might get lost in that recliner. Oh my Lord. Yeah, don't forget about my recliner fund now, Broken Justice. Now I'm at 0% by the time I end this gosh dong stream. I can't talk like her. I want it at 100%, Broken Justice. Okay? No, guys, I'm just joking about a recliner fund. I'm making fun of Natasha Cooper and her stupid funds. I don't care who tells her I said that. I cannot stand greedy people. Just one fund after another. I know it's none of my business, but I don't like to see people took advantage of. It's ridiculous. I woke up so far, that's all I've done. Hey, Carolina girl, did you get your kitty cat? Darlie Routier might get a new trial. Oh, really? I don't know why they're going to give her a new trial. I mean, the forensic evidence, she did it. She had blood spatter on the back of her shirt that could have only got there from her sticking the knife into the child, drawing the knife back up, and the blood was slinging onto the back of her nightshirt. Oh, yes, Tidbisco, post some pictures in Discord. My cats have ruined my Christmas tree. They broke the limbs down at the bottom. I mean, they're still on there, but they're like sagging down. I'm going to have to take the tree down and put it up in the closet. And I'm just, I'm going to have to get me a little smile tree. I think I'm just going to wait till after Christmas to buy me a new Christmas tree when they go on sale. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of disappointed because I like to decorate the Christmas tree with y'all. I got just like a whole little box of ornaments that my subscribers and friends have sent me. I wanted to put on the tree. I don't know. I may buy me a small one, like $10, $15 one, just I could put on top of my record player. The cats couldn't get to it there, and put my ornaments on. I'm researching it though. I came across some things that made me put some red flags up for me, so I don't know. Oh, really? I think she did it because stabbing's very personal, killing, and look at her wounds compared to the kids. I mean, they were butchered. One of them, the knife went all the way through the little boy and hit the floor. Crazy. You know, Darren's married to somebody else now. I think it's adorable. You need to leave your Christmas tree out and you keep letting them get into it and keep taking pictures. That's worth it. It's beautiful. Oh, I've got a new video up on TikTok of Cleo climbing the Christmas tree yet again yesterday. And I put in the video, this is why I can't have nice things. Donald, have a great day, hon. Thank you for stopping in and chatting. Okay, Ladybug's over here. What are you doing? She's sneaking up on me behind my chair. Okay, I want to get off here and mess with my animals and straighten up some things, and I will see y'all in the morning. Be safe, be kind, and peace, and thanks for your support.